guys, welcome back. Happy 4th of July. I've had a lot of people joining my class, and a couple of people had some questions about lighting sources. So I thought I would do a quick video just to reinforce, because it's good for my intermediate people to have this reinforced, and because we're going to get more into things this week with the next lesson. And for my newbies that are just coming in, this is going to be an excellent lesson for you on how to do your lighting. So here we have a ball. Here is that ball. Light is coming in, okay? This is direct light. If you're outside, it represents the sun. If you're inside, it represents the light source. Now, the light source could be on the ceiling. The light source could be from a lamp from the side. That's your direct lighting. Now, it doesn't have to be a ball. It could be any object. You're going to have something called a center light. Okay? Well, actually, if the light is coming in this way, the center light would be right around here. A lot of people who don't know confuse this with a highlight. It's not the highlight. This is a center light. This is your highest point. And the point that is where it is highest to is to your direct light. So what's going to happen with this is it's going to get the most light. Okay? It's going to be your lightest color. So when you're choosing your colors, this is your lightest. Then you have, as the light, so say the light is coming in, it hits that center light, that center point. Right here. This is where that color would be. As it goes down and around, you're going to have different points. You're going to have something called a half tone. So if we're in talking about, in our lessons, in talking about the half tone, that would be like your mid-tone color. Where your center light would be your lightest. So when we're picking out the three analogous colors being that there are three colors on the color wheel that sit next to each other. So if you're picking out your three, your light, your medium, and your dark, your lightest is going to be your center light. Your mid-tone will be your half-tone. Okay? Now, I'm not going to baby you. These are real art terms, and if you're interested in learning about art, you need to know what things are. You can't be babied and say, well, you can call it something else. No, we're going to be mature artists. This is a center light, this is a half tone. Right at this point, okay, or around this point, as the light turns and is no longer striking the area, you're going to have your dark tone. So your lightest, your middle, and your dark. And that's called the terminator line. That's a cool word. The terminator, and it's terminating the light. Then you have your shadows. Okay, you've got shadows coming off. Now you're going to have two different shadows, or actually three. One is called the occlusive shadow. Your occlusive shadow sits directly under an object. It would be right here. Okay? Always use your dark pencil. This is actually going to be your grays. So we have occlusive shadow. Very easy to remember. It's occluding the light. Occlusion shadow. Then you're going to have a cast shadow. Very easy to tell what a cast shadow is. It's casting off. So if your light is coming this direction, your shadow will always be in that direction. Okay? Always. Then you have something that's right under here. Okay? It's above your occlusion shadow, below your terminator line. Right in this area, you're going to have light that comes down and bounces back onto the object. And that's called a reflective shadow. And this is pretty easy to remember, okay? Reflective, it's reflecting back. It would be right there. Your terminator line, where your light terminates, it goes around the object and is cut off. You've got an occlusive shadow. Down here, you have a cast shadow. So if the light is coming in like that, or even up here, you would have a cast shadow. Now watch this. It makes this really easy because we're going to be doing shadows this week a lot. If your light is right here, okay? If you take a straight edge from the outside of the object to the ground, it would be right there. So, very easy. It's a straight line. That's where your cast shadow ends. Okay? Now, why does it do that? Because as you get further and further away from the object, more light is getting to the object. So at this point out here, it's in full light, and we don't get a shadow. But until then, you have all this area in here being blocked. Okay? So those are your shadows. Now, I'm going to talk to you about something else. Highlights. What color is a highlight? Now, we know that the center light is your lightest of your analogous colors. It's your brightest. The light is getting full benefit from that area. You're going to have your lightest color. You know your midtone. Your analogous trio. They're not going to change unless the object changes. If it's one object, it's going to be these three, light, middle, and dark. Sometimes there's more colors in there. I'm just using the three. Sometimes you can take down your tonal values by using 5 colors. But for all intents and purposes, you have your light, your middle, and your dark. Then you've got this thing called a highlight. A highlight is not, and I repeat this in big bold letters, a highlight is not a center light. Thus, it has no color. You don't highlight with anything in the box except for white. That's your highlight. And don't let anybody else tell you differently. You cannot have a favorite highlight. You cannot have a favorite combo using the color as a highlight. Doesn't exist. It would be a center light. So what the F is a highlight? A highlight perpendicular to the light source. So if you have a light coming in over here, your eye would see it right there. Your highlight. So you want to know something really cool about a highlight? It goes by your eye. Two people in the same room can see different highlights. So do you ever just get confused? Well, where exactly should I put my light? Well, it forms a 90-degree angle. So if you're standing over here and the light source is over here, so you're here, the light source is over here, it would be right there. Now, if I was sitting, say, down here, okay, and my light source was over here, from that 90-degree angle, I'd have a highlight right here. And it would be correct. It is always that little white light. If you walk around this object, that highlight's going to follow. Wherever you go, you're going to have that highlight. If you have two light sources in the room, you could have two highlights, because one would be a 90-degree angle, and so would the other one. And that's what people get confused. So as artists, we got to make sure that you're getting the proper information. This is a center light. This is a color. Okay? This, or even this, is a highlight. And it's white. This week we're going to be looking at lighting on leaves. Now, why did I choose to do that instead of going with the petals? Because the petals are leaves, basically. I'm going to do the leaf lecture. We're going to learn everything that you need to know about leaves. And all the videos out there in the world on leaves that tell you, oh, you can do leaves that are like this, and you put your lights here, and your lights here. Well, we have some exciting things that are going to happen. I'm going to teach you that leaves are fun. They're not boring. If you have 50 leaves on a page, hallelujah, you're going to have a good time with that. And I will see you in my next video. Have a great 4th of July. I know I will. Take care. Bye-bye.